Bula, I'm Maumee. Join me every weekday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on The Center Show with classic hits from the 70s as well as the 80s right here on Gold FM.
Tonight on FBC News, Intelligence Unit on alert for undeclared money at Fiji's ports of entry. Authorities issue a warning on the sale and use of fireworks for Diwali. An Indian surgical team wraps up successful visit to Fiji. Good evening and welcome to FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. The Financial Intelligence Unit is keeping tabs on money being transported across our borders. FIU Director Razim Buck says they've investigated 13 cases this year. 3 were Fijians, while 10 were Asian nationals.
According to the Financial Intelligence Unit, detecting border currency smuggling is still a challenge for authorities in Fiji.
It is very difficult for our border control officers to detect such currency that is hidden away. And therefore, we basically use other techniques, and most of these cases that were detected were as a result of the behavior of the traveler.
There have been 332 border currency declarations between January and September this year, double the figure from last year. Last year, $14.6 million in total were declared by people traveling in and out of Fiji. In 2011, it was less than half this amount, $6.2 million. Local authorities have to make up for the lack of technology by educating officers at the ports of entry.
There is a rise in number of undeclared cases of currency smuggling, suspected currency smuggling. And we are a bit cautious and worried that travelers are not fully thoroughly informed of this requirement, or they are deliberately doing this.
While the recent cases involving Asian nationals have raised suspicions, Baksh says there is no evidence of an organized smuggling network. They are also encouraged by harsh penalties for those who are caught.
The penalties or fines imposed for non-declaration of currency was merely $300, and then it went up to $700, went up to $1,000. And now we have seen in the most recent case that the penalty or fine for undeclared currency under the Financial Transactions Reporting Act was $10,000.
People who don't declare currency at the border can be slapped with a fine of up to $60,000 or be in prison for 10 years. Vostita Kotenwasa, FBC News.
Diwali is less than 2 weeks away, and like in past years, there are strict conditions on what fireworks are allowed and what aren't. Ritika Pratap reports.
The Mineral Resources Department monitors the sale of fireworks in Fiji. To date, there's been no relaxation to the list of banned fireworks.
The firecrackers, which if you might notice, the ones that are called strike crackers, the ones that you actually pull, and the ones that you just throw or they go off and, with a bang. Those are classified as firecrackers, including rockets, the ones that have sticks attached to them.
The approved list includes Roman candles, sparklers, and something called cakes. Venecio Nasara says all shops licensed to sell fireworks have to abide by certain conditions and also comply with the National Fire Authority requirements.
They must have a certification by National Fire Authority in terms of their own precautionary measures for fire prevention and protection. And then they are required to have the storage license and permit, which is issued by the department.
Retailers also have to ensure that fireworks need to have clearly printed instructions and warnings.
Consumers to make sure that when they are buying fireworks, there are conditions that they can read in English. If they can't, then they have a right to return that to the shopkeeper and say, hey, these things, I don't understand how these things is used, you know. Because some articles do come with Chinese instruction, even Dutch, because that's where they are manufactured.
It's important to note that fireworks will not be sold to anyone under the age of 18. Children looking to buy fireworks for Diwali must have adult supervisions. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Work on the multi-million-dollar Maumee project is progressing well since initial rehabilitation started in July, costing $6 million. Christopher Chand reports the actual construction is expected to begin early 2014.
It had a troubled beginning ever since the project got off the ground in 2005. And by 2009, developers Matapo Limited ran into financial problems, leaving the Maumee Bay project in turmoil. This year, stage 1 of the project started, with the FNPF investing $150 million to breathe new life into the venture.
The work has already started. It started in July, and that been going on for about 6 months. And it cost us about over $6 million. This is the work on the rehabilitations on the lagoon and a few other structures within the lagoon.
The fund hopes to open the hotel by 2015, and plans are to develop the area further.
There are residential blocks also available within the perimeters of the project, but we'll look at that in the second phase. And we are looking around the first quarter of next year to complete the process and start the constructions of the building.
Maumee is regarded as a non-performing asset, and strict processes are being followed to ensure the investment pays off.
And you're talking about a multi-million-dollar project. There are governance issues which you need to tick.
Right now, there are partially completed hotel rooms on site. Its tragic beginning is no impediment to a brighter future. In 2 years' time, this piece of paradise will be a thriving tourism destination. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
A group of surgeons from Sahadri Hospital in India who have been here since last week are about to wrap up their visit. The doctors have been conducting super specialty surgeries such as joint replacement, neurosurgery and open heart surgery. Chanel Shivan caught up with them last night.
Sahadri hospitals with 12 facilities in cities like Pune, Nashik and Navi Mumbai are the largest chain of hospitals in the Indian state of Maharashtra. This is the first time that the hospital have sent doctors to operate outside of India.
More than 16 surgeries in CABG, that is open heart surgeries, are already performed. We have performed more than 10 neurosurgeries, in which 4 are the tumors, the brain tumors, and 6 are the spine. 14 surgeries were performed in the joint replacement in Lotaka.
Manu Muni Bhargav says they are hoping to carry out more procedures in the future and has assured Fijians that the cost will be affordable.
Every day, more and more patients are coming. You may surprise that even the patients from the developed countries like Australia, New Zealand, Hong Kong also visited for the opinion.
The success rate for the operations in Fiji so far has been 100%. This visit is a unique setup arranged by the Fijian government, which also decides the cost of the procedures. This is far cheaper than what people would be paying otherwise.
Surgeries at the Lotoka Hospital and here at the CWM Hospital and tomorrow. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
After the break, Land Transport Authority launches Public Transport Week.
Or you could spend it like this.
Tune in to the morning ride every weekday morning from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. right here on Today FM, Today's Hit Music.
Nisambulu binaka oya wane kamanalangi oni nandorungo viao mai na diwa kina rua na bisinga mai na moniti kina bagarumbu na Radio Fiji wana ndomi biti bongani bianyanu na makatalenga na benga ona sasi biani na tinna kaloka na bembongi ni bukilulu kena bima mani walu na bembongi ni bakaruwai mai na mbuza ni walu ninge namaka.
Welcome back, here with FBC News. Public service vehicle drivers will be the focus of the National Public Transport Week, which was launched in Suva this morning. The event is an initiative of the Land Transport Authority, police and other partners. Sharon Lata reports.
Buses, taxis and minivans are the most common means of transport, and the Land Transport Authority wants to see that people are safe while travelling in these vehicles.
We will be monitoring the movement of all public service vehicles on major roads. The Suvarnasori corridor is a big, busy corridor. We're also looking at the Lutok-Nandi corridor, Mbalo-Lutok-Nandi, and also in Lambas.
Around 70% of Fiji's population relies on buses to get from one place to another. But with the recent spate of fires, many are scared to board the bus.
Right now, we had discussed with the Fiji bus operators on the quality management tools that we have. That's checking on their depots, that they have the right clean environment to check buses. They have the right people who can check buses. Not only mechanics, but qualified electricians.
The National Fire Authority will be included in the week-long campaign by the LTA and the police. They'll be mainly checking buses.
And making sure that we work with the two agencies in ensuring that members of the community can travel safely in buses. So our team usually joins them in this operation.
Drivers won't escape scrutiny either. Their behavior and attitude towards passengers and the dress code will have to be up to par. Shahrin Lata, FBC News.
The Manasa Hydro Scheme is one of the most successful projects in Fiji's history. It's also provided electricity at one of the lowest rates in the Pacific. This week marks 30 years since the commissioning of the Manasa Hydro Scheme, and some say it's largely responsible for where Fiji is today. Roland Koroi reports.
Construction of the Monasavu Dam and the Wailo Power Station began in 1978. It was opened in 1983 by the then Governor-General of Fiji, the late Ratusa Penaya Nganilau, and one man who has been involved since the construction stage couldn't be more proud.
I feel very proud and happy because I was associated with the development of the Monasavu scheme. I worked in the hills, when the scheme was under construction, and I'm happy that I'm still around.
Cheap electricity in Fiji has been seen as one of the main attractions for investors, which according to Hasmukh Patel has had a lot to do with Fiji's economic growth.
Had it not been for Monasavu, Fiji would have been another place too. We would have been struggling with electricity prices. So I think the leaders at that time had the foresight to develop Monasavu, and it was developed and it has delivered.
This is what it is today, a massive structure with a lot of history behind it. I'm standing here at the foot of the embankment of what is the Monasavu Dam. From what I've been told, 400 men were used to build this. When I say that blood, sweat and tears were shed in constructing this massive structure, I mean every sense of the word. A few men lost their lives while building the Monasavu Dam. This tombstone was built to remember those that perished during the construction of the dam. It's because of them and the many others who had a hand in the Monasavu scheme that we enjoy the comfort of electricity in hundreds of thousands of homes. Roland Koroi, FBC News.
Greater recognition should be given to micro-enterprises that play a critical role in our economy. With that in mind, the first ever National Microfinance Awards were held in Nandi. Akasita Tale has more.
Life is not the same anymore for this hardworking Moana villager, as she now thrives on being the best in her field. Asinatha Ngalilau's small business, selling flowers in her area, has grown into a full-time source of income that meets her daily needs.
This win has really encouraged me, and I only wish if my late husband was present to see my achievements. But today's award has persuaded me to expand my business further.
These awards are designed to complement national efforts to have greater financial inclusion all over Fiji.
When you want microfinance, you've got to demonstrate some savings type activity to start with, and to do that you really got to have a bank account. So we think financial inclusion is the first part of it.
The National Financial Inclusion Task Force has been behind the efforts to have Fijians become part of commerce, or at least open bank accounts and start saving.
We have a target of bringing 150,000 people into financial services by 2014, which is next year. We're already 90% of the way there. We will for certain reach our target next year.
With only one nomination from Vanuatu this year, it's expected that more Fijians will be encouraged after hearing about these awards. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
And Jamie joins us now with sports. What do you have for us?
I am Rita, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, the latest from the Mbati camp and Fijiana to feature at Dubai Sevens. These stories and more after the break.
Bola, oya wasala bilawa. Do pata kia umena diwa kina tini karona kaloko na single boni moniti kina wagarumbuka. Kako ni valata na no musini sari na kaisa mariando loloma leone vani ni nau omgori ke de mena diwa kina tini karona kaloko na single boni moniti kina wagarumbuka na Bula FM number 2 en sere.
जहाँ हो प्यार का बसेरा और रिश्तों की खुशबू, वो है आपका अपना घर संसार. Join me on Ghar Sansar, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. only on Radio Fiji 2.
Welcome back. First up tonight, the Vodafone Fiji Mbati is delighting fans and neutrals alike in England. And though we can still expect the ruthlessness of the Mbati on the field, they seem to be carrying an infectious smile off it. Indra Singh has more.
While the Fijians are renowned for their toughness on the pitch, wherever they go off it, the smiles are just magnetic. This is the same scenario with the Vodafone Fiji Mbati as they build up to the first match against Ireland next Tuesday.
We had a match against Rosedale and see the Fijian community come out in numbers and support the team. We're expecting a more support this coming Monday.
The Mbati have been lighting up their camp base and its surrounding areas and enjoying each moment.
I've been not knowing that there was a Fijian community here and also at the previous town where we stayed at, so I'm sure both communities will be here to support us.
So much has been said about the Mbati, but a special message from one of their own is an added boost.
The message that I'd like to give to the Fiji Mbati team as they take the field on Monday against the Irish side, just go out there and play your best.
It's a jovial mood all around at the moment, but the mentor knows this will surely change when the games get underway.
Fiji boys are really good for their bond. Yeah, they're really religious, and I think that helps bond a team.
As the request for blessings and support continues, the famous Mbati saying of Nongu Kolo Nongu Vanua keeps reminding the players what they have set out to do. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, the Fiji Mbati have been bonding well as the build-up for the first game continues, and the side is banking on this to lay the platform for a successful outing at the World Cup.
Ashton Sims gave an account of shared his experience of what he went through during the 2008 World Cup. And he talked about his experience and also the devotions and the way the team normally behave when they're in camp, the devotion in the morning and afternoon, the way the boys interact with each other. And that is something that he encouraged all the players to buy into the experience and, play for themselves, their family, and the people back home.
The Mbati take on Ireland in its first pool match at 9 a.m. on Tuesday. Flying Fijians head coach Inoke Male is backing the initiative by the Fiji Sports Council to organize the East versus West challenges this year. Knowing that the best reps from provincial level will be featuring, he'll have an easier task when selecting the best local players for national duties. While much of the attention is on players, one local coach sees a chance to step up his game. Elena McDonald reports.
The East versus West concept is an opportunity for top local players to prove their worth to don the white jumper.
Good exposure to the local players. For these players who want to come to the national side and who are coming to participate in the PRC. So it's going to be a big stepping stone for them to show their quality and the caliber of players that we want to take in the PRC.
It's also the moment that local coaches can show just what they're capable of achieving.
At national level, I've just coached age group players, the under 18s, under 19s, and the Junior World Cup for the under 20. For the provincial, It's my second tour for United Series this year, coming in to coach for the Fair Brother. But to coach a team like this one, the East, this is the first time for me.
The first of 3 challenges kicks off at the end of next month, with most players hoping to progress to national level. The same can be said for the local coaches involved. And the best part for Fiji rugby is it means that once again some structure can be reintroduced to further develop the sport. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
The Fijiana Rugby Sevens team have been seeded alongside world champions New Zealand in the Women's RB7 Series leg in Dubai next month. The side is one of 4 invitational teams in the tourney alongside Brazil, France and Tunisia. The team will use the Bailey's Fiji Coral Coast Sevens tournament in Singatoka early next month as a build-up to the world competition. The Dubai Sevens tournament will be held on the 28th to the 29th of November. Local boxer Opeti Tangi has secured a good chance at a world ranking with a fight on December 13th in New Zealand. And the Fiji Boxing Commission is delighted at the prospect of a local fighter getting international recognition. Selvin Chand has more.
Opeti Tangi has a showdown with New Zealand boxer Ghana Jackson in the middleweight category under the World Boxing Organization Orient Promotions.
Whoever the winner is will be ranked number 15th in the middleweight division in the world. So it's a huge stepping stone for Opeti Tangi, especially when he's climbing up weight and to tackle this fight and hopefully, if he does win, a world ranking for him. So it's a mega fight for him.
Tangi has moved on to a heavier weight category. With age catching up, he was finding it a bit hard to box in the welterweight division.
It happens to a lot of boxers internationally as they grow older. And as age catches up with them, but he has been training. He's sacrificed a lot for this fight.
The fight will be held in Papatoetoe in Auckland in New Zealand. The commission hopes for support from the Fiji community there.
An area that has a lot of locals who live in Auckland area, and support will be on his side in as far as this fight is concerned.
The Boxing Commission is also making arrangements to send a referee/judge to get a feel of how such bouts are run. Shalvin Chand, FBC Sports.
That's it from Sports Tonight. Good evening.
Many businesses have been taking advantage of the amnesty period to pay their overdue fringe benefit tax. The Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority introduced the amnesty on the 8th of this month to encourage employers to pay up. Chief Assessor Risk and Profiling Epeli Naua says there's been a huge influx of payments which had been due for some years. He also explains that the 20% tax is levied on employers or companies and not the person enjoying the fringe benefits. More than $9 million was collected from fringe benefit tax in 2012. The amnesty ends November 11th. So Jen, what's the update on the weather?
Hi, I'm Rita. You're looking beautiful today. Well, nothing much has changed. We still don't have any sunshine on the map. People everywhere only had to look out their windows today and they'd see the same thing. Dreary, cloudy and rainy weather. Only 2 centers in the 20s today, 28 to be exact. The warmest was 32 degrees in Lautoka. Tomorrow, surprise, surprise, it's going to rain again. At this rate, I might be out of a job soon. Mariners, keep in mind that there'll be rough seas and poor visibility in areas of heavy rain and thunderstorms. Here's another sunny pic to take your mind off this wet weather. This is looking out from the highlands in Rakiraki. That's weather, just a quick one today, but don't worry, I'll be here tomorrow, same time, same place.
Thanks, Genevieve. Let's hope for sunshine next week. Now, headlines once again. Intelligence unit on alert for undeclared money at Fiji's ports of entry. Authorities issue a warning on the sale and use of fireworks for Diwali. An Indian surgical team wraps up successful visit to Fiji. On to our poll question. Can the Vodafone Fiji Mbati reach the final of the Rugby League World Cup 2013? Visit our FBC website to answer. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That's all from FBC News tonight. Good night.
आपकी शादी होने वाली है, 5 बच्चे होंगे। 5 हाय, मैं हूँ आपकी सहेली रेनू। सुनते रहिए मिर्ची FM, मैं हूँ ना 9 से 12 बजे तक।